welcome back to Late Night Gamer. The last year has been very busy for me, not in gaming sense but in work, so I haven't actually done a video for at least 10 months, and still I see that I have some subscribers left, and I want to thank you all for well, having the patience to stay on my channel, even though I haven't updated it for quite some time. So I also, during this past months, I've changed my equipment, my photographic equipment, that is, experimenting back and forth. I also do photography, so it's just because of that, which has left me with not so well. I don't have really a good video equipment, so I'm using my phone right now, and I'm hoping it's going to be okay. So I got this game as a gift. Thank you, Rick, for sending it to me. So I got this game as a gift, and I've been actually looking at it for quite some time for various reasons. First of all, it's a game from Victory Point Games, and it's a war game, which they don't have too many titles of in their stock or in their collection of games that they publish. But I wanted to, first of all, I wanted to see what Victory Point Games can do with wargaming, because they have a game in development which I'm very interested in, a Second World War game. Chadwick something, yeah, the designer is Frank Chadwick. I wanted to look at how they approach wargaming, with that in mind, that they will publish something that I'm really interested in later. So that's the reason one of the reasons I wanted to look into a wargame from Victory Point Games. This is Napoleonic wargaming, and I don't play that. I haven't played it very much. I normally play World War II games, so I wanted to see how they are making this war game experience different from a World War II game. So it has to have some differences, right? So that's also a reason to play this game, and it's quite simple. Looking at rule sets, it's not too complicated, making it an ideal game to get back in board gaming, so to speak, on camera. Well, it comes with a box, so just have a quick look inside. We have here the rules booklet. These are the standard rules for the Napoleonic 20 series. 21 pages, a little bit more I guess, 25, 26 pages. Spaciously written, so it's not too much reading. Relatively simple rule set. Now they have some specific rules for the game, this Prussia 20, which is really two games, Jena 20 and Elan 20 put together. Here we have a help sheet, or help sheet, player aid mat for the Napoleonic 20 series, 4th edition, it says, top. You get a deck of cards. Actually, you get 2 deck of cards. This is for Jena, and this is for, this is all Jena, and this is Elan. So you separate them out based on the game you want to play. Random events. This card governs the random events. Maps. There are 2 maps. They go together. And there's 1 game on the back side, the Elan. Oh, it's not Elan, it's Elo. Elo 20. Probably not pronounced like that either. And it's Jena 20 on this side. There are units. The Prussian units. French units. Russians maybe. And some markers. And that's really it. So next thing I'm going to do now is to lay out the map for the Jena 20, which is the game I'm going to play Now, okay, the game is set up. So looking in the exclusive rule set for this game, I have just followed those instructions to set up the game. So place the units on the board. This is the Prussian army. Normally in a war game, north is up, but in this game north is actually this way. So this is west. For some reason, I don't know why. So after placing the units, I will take the cards and we will separate the cards out from the deck, taking only the cards that has the name of the game you wanted to play printed on. Like this is ELO 20, so I'm not going to use them. But instead I'm going to use the Jena 20 deck of cards. If there were any cards with red writing, I would set them aside and they will start the game in the discard pile. But there are not in this game. It would look something like this with the red writing there, red letters. I also have this card in the deck, which allows you to re-roll a die during combat if you get it, but I'm not going to use this since I'm playing solitaire. Set that aside. I'm not sure if that's correct or not. I could not find any reference to it in the rules, so I'm just setting it aside. So I'm just going to shuffle the rest of the cards like this, shuffle the cards, and making a draw pile. So I'm going to use all the optional rules from the main rule set, but from the exclusive rule set I'm just going to use a couple of optional rules. Actually just one, and that concerns the leaders. Let me pick up one of the leaders just to show you. So you can see that this leader has two numbers. One is the command rating and the other one is movement. But he has this colored back underneath his name from the same army, different colors, and it means they can only command units that has their unit name written in the same color as the banner. So it becomes pretty obvious when you see these units together here. You can see there's the same color here as opposed to this unit here, which has a green banner underneath its name. So the French player though does not have that problem, because all of the French leaders have the same color, and all the units have the same colored banner as well. So they can use any leader for any unit, and that's important when it comes to combat. There's only one French unit on the map when you start, and this is Lannes here. And the Prussian army is located here in the what would be the southern part, south and southwestern part of the map. So the game also tells you to set up the morale track, and the morale track is actually here on the player aid sheet, which is a terrible idea. So because I like to toss that player aid sheet around, so instead I'm just going to set up the morale here on the game turn track instead. So the Prussian morale is at 7 and the French morale is at 8. And speaking of the game turn track, you can see the reinforcements are lined up along the edge here, and we will start on October the 13th midday, and every turn is sort of a progression through the day until it gets to the night turn, where we will be doing some counting of not victory points but morale points. This game is all about morale. There's some symbols here to remind us of doing different things in different turns, like October 14th in the morning we have to roll for fog. You can see that there will be coming on some French units. Here are Prussian units which will be coming on the map, and we will start October 13th. French will start the game as per the rules. The game comes with these dummy tokens, and you can actually play with the units hidden, but I'm not going to follow that rule. The units have, let's show you this unit here, have two different values. It's the combat value and the movement value. And this is a game all about adjacency. So I cannot fire at a unit which is more than 1 hex away. That's not going to happen in this game. Always, you have to always move adjacent to a unit to attack it. And moreover is that when you are adjacent to a unit, you have to attack it. So there's a obligated rule of engagement here, if you like, which is a bit unusual. And you can't get away from an adjacent spot if you're in the zone of control. There are a couple of exceptions to zone of control extended into a neighboring hex, but we'll get to that when you play. Rivers are one of those exceptions. So major rivers, you cannot extend your zone of control across that river. That makes sense. And you cannot exit the enemy zone of control unless it's night turn or you're a cavalry doing some special actions. You will lose the game if the morale reaches 0. And you basically lose morale whenever you lose a troop. So these spots on the map are called line of communication, I think. So when you have to withdraw from battle, you have to withdraw towards your own line of communication. So what we will see in the game is that the French will get more and more units as the game progresses. And the French units are generally stronger than the Prussian units. So yeah, I need to say that the Prussians have one rule in play. The Prussians have this orderly withdrawal in play, orderly withdrawal authorized. So 1 unit per game turn can exit the map through this area, which is here in the northern end of the map. And when the unit exits the map here, the morale increases of the Prussian army. So that's one way of getting the morale back up again, but that's of course at the cost of units on the map. I should say that stacking is not allowed in this game, except for leaders that can stack with some other unit, one of the other units. So at the beginning of the game, the Prussian army, which is here, they can either, of course, they can try to withstand the onslaught of the Napoleonic army, but they are bound to lose because of the strength difference, I think. I don't think they can really take on the French, so they will have to exit the game in order to increase their morale. And the reason they want to do that is to get higher morale than the French forces at the end of the game. So that could either be at the end of the game turn 13, or they can win a decisive victory if they are able to beat down the French morale to 0, which is probably going to be difficult for them. So at the beginning of the game, the exit point for the Prussian army is, well, let me turn the camera a little bit, it's right up here to the north. And the problem that the Prussian army is going to face is that on game turn 3, there's a significant French force coming on here, just where they need to exit. So if at any point the Prussian morale gets down below 3, then this orderly withdrawal becomes a what's it called, general retreat order, enabling the Prussian army to exit the map at the other 2 lines of communication that they have, one up here and the other one up here. So that will make it a bit easier, but then the morale is low, of course, and the Prussian cannot longer win a decisive victory or a major victory, only a minor victory. So they don't want that to happen. The French forces will come on here. There's also another point to be made here, and that's if this cadre here is marching, no, sorry, if the Prussian army is the first one to enter Dornburg, then they will gain a morale point. There are some supplies here that, there are some French supplies here in Dornburg that will fall into Prussian hands if they come first into the city, which is quite easy to do. I mean, they can just march down here. There are no French forces available to reach the city first, so it's all in the hands of the Prussians. Of course, then this cadre here will be diverted has to use 2 game turns, but it will be diverted from trying to keep up or block the French forces coming up through here. So I think it's a temptation there with the supplies, but maybe a trap. And as I said, this game is all about the morale. You need to kick the other guy down to 0 or have more morale than the other guy at the end of the game to win. And I can also spend morale, or both sides can spend morale during combat to commit reserves, they call it. So assumingly they will use some reserves in the battle, but as I said, and that will improve the die roll modification or modifier, +1 on your die roll. But yeah, it's going to cost you morale, and morale is precious in this game. Actually, let's take a break now and let's start the game when I come back. See you soon.